Hey, what is up you guys, it's Overlord Gaming here, and I have to say I'm extraordinarily disappointed with Destiny. Destiny is a game that in my opinion was supposed to expand the horizon of the shooter genre. It was supposed to have an amazing multiplayer to last for months that was supposed to be highly competitive and extraordinarily fun. The campaign was supposed to be an amazing world filled with wonder and mystic secrets hidden within the world, and it's supposed to keep players wandering around it for months on end. Unfortunately, we didn't get that, but instead what we got was a rather bland game that got stale in the hold extraordinarily quickly. Destiny had so much potential, and it was squandered. It had one of the best game companies creating it, a huge budget to work with, and ample time to create the game, and yet it flopped. Many people try to tell you as to why that reason is, yet can't necessarily seem to put their finger on it. I'm here to try and piece all those problems together and tell you exactly what is wrong with Destiny. Now, I wanted to start off with the PvP or the campaign for this game first. The campaign for Destiny is extremely linear, almost an on-rails sort of shooter. The levels in Destiny are extremely short, roughly 10 to 20 minutes long. Each level has you drive from the same starting point across a small open world to get you to a building or a cave. You enter the cave or building and fight your way through small rooms and hallways until you reach a rather spacious clearing or room with lots of cover. This room or clearing is usually used for a wave defense segment where you let your ghost hack a door or a computer within the room or clearing. You fight anywhere from 3 to 5 waves of enemies and move on to the next area, which is another series of small hallways and rooms in which you fight mobs until you reach the boss area. In this area you fight a small amount of mobs once again before the boss arrives. You then fight the boss from anywhere from 5 minutes to roughly 30 minutes depending on the difficulty and the gear you are carrying. At the end of the mission you are rewarded loot which can be better or worse than your current gear. This type of level design is cut, copied, and pasted throughout basically all of Destiny's missions. Now, I'm going to compare this to something, or one mission from Halo 3 called the Ark. This mission starts you off by giving you a sniper and a battle rifle. You can choose to either snipe the enemies on the ridge above them, or you can jump off of the ridge and fight the enemies in close quarters combat. You are then brought into a small clearing where you can either jack a boot chopper and continue to the next area. You can walk on foot, or you can drive a Warthog with ODSTs and the gunner and passenger. Now, throughout this mission, you were given multiple choices like this, including a stealth segment in the mission. The missions were also generally longer than what Destiny's are by a lot and added significant depth to the story. Coupled with the fact that you went from many different places, such as a foreigner installation to a sandy desert to a jungle in Africa. So when you compare this one mission in Halo that has more variety in it than all the missions in Destiny, you can truly see where this game falls short on its level design. The in-game content, such as strikes, raids, and weekly nightfall missions are rather boring. The game becomes a grind to get higher and higher leveled gear to beat missions you've already beaten just on a higher level and stronger enemies present. The rewards for strikes and weekly heroics aren't that great either. You are usually rewarded blue items, which most players tend to break down because their current gear is already more useful and surpasses the gear that they are given. The only thing that usually offer you any sort of good reward in Destiny is the raid and the weekly nightfall, both of which require friends to play, the raid being 6 players and the weekly being 3. Although the nightfall is simply just a strike on higher difficulty with more modifiers on, such as arc burn and scorch. The only thing in the PvP aspect that seems like they put any work into is the raid, which the game was released with 1 for the Xbox and 2 for the PlayStation. The raids are legitimately hard and very satisfying to complete. The only drawback is that you need a maximum of 6 players to even begin to do the raid. Even if everyone is max rank, this level is still extremely hard to beat. The boss requires large amounts of teamwork and communication to even begin to understand a beat. And the enemies are generally tougher in being at least 2 higher ranks than you from the starting rank that you are required to enter in the raid. The boss battles also include little puzzles such as the Templar's Oracles, which require you to learn where they spawn, how often they spawn, while avoiding sniper fire, suicide bombing enemies, and the boss's incoming fire. This makes beating the boss and actually surpassing the level that much more satisfying than it would be to have, those puzzles not be there. Now onto the mess that is the PvP aspect of this game. It's bugged, has horrible hit registration, low tick rate, and awful netcode that's worse than Battlefield 4's launch. Many times while playing this game, we'll see some funny things happen, such as you dying around corners, people not dying whenever you melee them or shotgun them, them blatantly taking no damage at all, or perhaps taking damage later after you're already dead. This happens quite frequently within Destiny, and I actually have recorded quite a few games, and I'm probably going to be uploading a little montage of, some of the stuff like this, and it's not just me. If you guys want, you can go looking. You can see many other YouTubers who have played this game, and you can see where stuff like that is happening. And problems like these need to be addressed immediately if this game wants to see 1 year. The other problem that I'd like to address is the PvP reward system. This system absolutely makes no sense. I can somewhat see where they were coming from it with, meaning that, everyone would get a piece of the pie with it being random. However, nothing is more infuriating than having a 2.0 or a 3.0 kill-death ratio and earning nothing, despite the fact that you backpack your team in what is basically the reason that your team won, and everyone else gets something and you don't. Now, this randomness gives you very little incentive to win and very little incentive to play. There's almost no storyline. The PvP aspect of this game is broken. The maps are really repetitive. They're all small, with only 2 being rather large maps, and almost too large to, want to play, because you keep getting reset at the end of the map. You have a very slow walking speed, and if you ride your spear, you're basically making yourself a huge target saying, "Shoot me now." Now, I ask you guys, why are you guys still playing Destiny? What drives you to play Destiny so much? Leave your answer down in the comments below, and like my video if you guys agree with me. Or perhaps you guys can leave a counter reason as to why Destiny is perhaps a better game than I say it is. This is Overlord, signing out.
5 minutes remaining.